For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jin, and I'm excited to be helping Jamie and Amanda host our Journey to Handstand Challenge. I teach yoga on the island of Oahu, so I am out in Hawaii, and there's a bit of a time difference between me and most of you all, so I apologize if there's a little delay to my posts. But I am going to be bringing you alignment tips and some advanced options. I hope you enjoy them all. But right now we'll start with some alignment tips. So our first pose today was downward facing dog, which is great because it's such a foundational pose, but I wanted to go even more foundational than the full pose itself for our first alignment tips. I want to talk about hand alignment because we are going to be spending so much time on our hands for this challenge. It's super important that we think about how to align our hands, because aligning our hands and engaging our hands is what's going to keep our wrists happy and safe, and what's going to be the foundation for all of our poses while our hands are on the ground. So there's three things that I want us to think about when our hands are on the ground. The first thing is that your fingers always want to be spread wide. They're not hanging out together and being sort of unengaged. They're really spread. Really widespread hands, widespread fingers, index fingers facing forward or even slightly out. Once you've got your fingers spread wide and they're on your mat, you're going to press through the undersides of your fingers, the meaty parts of your fingers. So not just your fingertips, not just clawing your fingertips, but really pressing through the whole meaty part, the undersides of your knuckles, the undersides of your fingers. So widespread fingers, pressing through our finger pads. And then the third thing to think about, which is really kind of cool, but it takes some thought and some work to get your head around, is that we're going to try to recreate the arch of your foot in your hand. So your arch of your foot is really cool. It's like built-in shock absorption to your feet. And when you're standing on your feet, of course, your feet are your foundation on the earth. But when you're on your hands, you have to turn your hands into your foundation. And we want to create that same sort of shock absorption. So to do that, with our widespread fingers pressing through the undersides of our knuckles, with your hand on your mat, you're going to draw, think about drawing your thumb and your forefinger together. So if I do that action in the air, I get this sort of funny motion, right? But if you do it on your mat's not going to let your fingers go anywhere. And as you draw your thumb and your forefinger together and you press through the undersides of your knuckles, you should feel a hollowing, a sucking up of the inside of your hand. And that's like recreating the arch of your foot. Pretty cool, kind of magic. This action, this engagement of our fingers, really having our hands engaged, is what's going to take the weight and the pressure out of your wrists. So if you're in downward dog or you're doing anything with your hands on the ground and you're feeling like, oh, this is so hurtful to my wrists are having so much problems, aligning and engaging your hands is what's going to help with all of that. So it is work, right? You're teaching your muscles of your hands to do something new. So your muscles of your hands may get tired, but don't misinterpret that tiredness as being something wrong. Eventually, this is the magic that's going to make your wrists be so much more happy when your hands are on the ground. So you can try it just sitting like I am in hero pose or any other seated posture. Just take your hands on the ground out in front of you and think about widespread fingers, pressing through my finger pads, clawing the earth with my whole finger, and then drawing your thumb and your forefinger together to get that engagement in your whole hand. So you can be here and just play with this without having to be inverted, just with your hands on the ground. And then of course, you can turn that into your downward dog. And think about your hands there as well today. And then also, this is going to carry us through our whole practice. So come back to this and think about your hand alignment as we go through this whole journey up to our handstands. So I'll post an advanced posture for our downward dog here in a few minutes. And think about your hands today. And until tomorrow, aloha.